balance. That's why your numbers will just start looking very confusing for you.
Thank you, Chair. From the financial statements, I'm seeing it's a surplus of 27 million, it's not a deficit. Let's look at note 16 to the financial statements.
It's a surplus of what?
27,874,877.50.
But you said you erroneously include a surplus, but it's a deficit. You erroneously include a surplus, but it's a deficit. Because your placing balances are not the right placing balances. You are starting the wrong opening balance. Am I the one who is reading these statements wrongly?
It's true, Chairman. And if you compare with the statement of changes in net assets, it has a bearing with the statement of cash flows. The same variances are now treated in the statement of cash flows. Yeah. Because that's why they will be now trying to account for the variances in the understated cash book balance. Yeah. Thank you, Chairman.
With your permission, I can ask the Chief Officer to try to explain for us. Honestly, Chair, my training has nothing to do with these things, and I'm also struggling. It's like I'm listening to Creek. I'm going to take a first-year class on to learn these things. So let me ask the CEO to try to help us out, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much, CEO. Doctor. I wanted to say, Chair, I'm equally a doctor. And I don't have any training on accounting, but I have since asked a question from the finance team, and this has everything to do with the misclassification in the preparation of financial statements according to the information I was given, and I have taken it upon myself, and in less than 2 months ago, I took all the accountants from all the hospitals for training on the same financial statement. And we also brought in CPA Lawrence at a later stage. And I can assure you that next financial statements will be improved. But I want to confirm that I do not foresee any loss of funds. This has everything to do with the preparation of financial statements by the accountants. Most of our accountants are on contract with managing the hospitals, and they are very junior. But we have seen them for a serious training, and we brought in Lawrence to offer mentorship to all the accountants. So I want to assure you, this honorable house, that the next financial statements will be improved from what the actions we have taken.
Are you the CEO or are you the CEC?
CEO.
CEO of what? I want to be a record.
Health.
CEO of health. CEO of health or the CEO of the hospital?
CEO is the Chief Officer.
You're the Chief Officer of health?
Yes.
Yeah, if I was your governor, I would fire you tomorrow. You know why? The audit queries are not responded to futuristically. An error is here that could have led to possibly, if we bring it down, it could have led to possible loss of fund of 27 million. If it is not a variance, if it is a misreported number. So you are telling us that whatever you are seeing here will be better in the future. This is a closed certificate of the Auditor General. This certificate here is closed. Is this certificate open, auditors?
Closed.
It's closed. So then you are telling us that this will be corrected in future. Which means we will use to open that certificate. You can't. So you can't respond to the general's audit query futuristically. So what I want you to tell us is, if there was deficit in your capital fund, how did you offset it?
Chair.
Because there is.
Chair, I wanted to raise something, Chair. AD is going in the right direction, but Chair, I wanted to say, we are going round in cycles on this particular issue. It basically, what has come out, there is no capacity. There is incompetence here.
Okay.
So since there is incompetence, we cannot cure it here. So basically, we just, and the CEO and the CBO Lawrence have said they have taken this people for training and they are continuing to train them. And the chief officers admitted that they are junior accountants. So basically, what they are also admitting without saying, we can infer, these accounts were done by these junior accountants and CBO Lawrence signed. You didn't go through them. So basically, we need to make this chair as not addressed and move on. Otherwise, we will just need to move on. Otherwise, we are not auditors. What we are trying to dig more is supposed to be done by these people. So basically, we just move to say it's not addressed.
I've heard you. Last comment from the auditors.
Chairman, before my director closes the comment, please allow me to read the conclusion by the Auditor General. And it's also important to note the audit language.
Yes.
The auditor cannot tell you money is lost directly, but the auditor says, if you look at the second paragraph, inaccuracies in the statement of cash flow, the conclusion of the Auditor General is, in the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of the cash and cash equivalents balance of 28,704,571 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chairman.
You see, that is where Senator Mutai is not a member of this committee, but he has a problem. He just wants you to say money is lost or money is not lost. But check your work very easy. You know, the auditor to assume is talking to a 2-year-old boy. And you will say it as it is, you know, you don't sugarcoat it. Does it mean funds were lost or not? But anyway, members, I think because of time, let me direct that the county has promised that they are going to do reconciliation of these errors and misstatement in the subsequent financial, that is 2024-2025 financial year. And I think that includes the journal entries. So I think the auditor and the county will work together to ensure that that is done, so that in 2024-2025, this committee will have an opportunity to see whether that was done or not. Yeah. So let's move to the next query, and the next query is unsupported waivers and exemption amount. Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. On this one,
state officer may not be excluded from payment of a tax, fee, or charge by reason of the office of the state officer or the nature of the work of the state officer, and such waiver of variation has been authorized by an act of parliament. And then, through Chair, with your permission, under Regulation 64 of the PFM County Government Regulations on the in-year reporting of revenue collection, paragraph 1 reads as follows: the accounting officer or receiver rather of revenue or collector of revenue shall prepare a quarterly report not later than 15th day of the end of the quarter. And then paragraph 3, the accounting officer or receiver of revenue or collector of revenue shall include in report under the paragraph 1 the following details in respect of which waiver or variation: A, the full name of each person benefiting from the waiver of variation, the amount of tax, fee, or charge affected by the waiver of variation, C, the year to which the waiver of variation relates, D, the reasons for the waiver of variation, and E, the law in terms of which the waiver of variation was granted. Thank you, Chair.
So I think, Chief Officer and your team, Section 159 has given. So it doesn't just stop at the committee. It has to be approved by the CEC Finance.
Chair.
Yes.
Chair, because we're considering all these queries all together, I just wanted perhaps that if possible for this particular county, the Catholics know something called catechism. Catechism is a book that, they use to do all their sacraments. I think that if possible, allow the legal council to read to the accounting officers of Kericho, PFM Act, Section 199. Because the query is very simple. What was the process of granting the waiver? If I was to simplify it, Auditor, I think what is questioning. Were there regulations, most of the regulations that are tied with the regulations of the PFM Act? Were they followed? No. Was there a policy that perhaps was contrary to what the PFM Act wants? No. Was there approval within that budget where the CEC is involved? No. That's a standard accounting misconduct, if I was to simplify it. And that was happened in the query that we looked at, which is why I was telling the CEC that I would possibly fire him tomorrow if I was the governor. Because what happens under Section 199 should be in your mind. The Section 199 captures both big and what you consider minute misconduct. I don't know if I can read it for us, Chair, if you allow, or just a bit, just touch on it a bit. So when you leave here, go and plug that entire Section 199 and put it, all the accounting officers, as your catechism when you're doing financial matters. Then next time I will not recommend that you get fired for incompetence.
Well, I will allow, they are learning because this is the first time the hospitals are going through this process. So I'll allow them to listen to Section 199 so that next time we don't have this matter coming up.
Thank you, Chair. Section 199 is on the penalties for offences, and the penalties, it reads as follows: except as otherwise provided by this Act, a person who is found guilty of committing an offence under this Act for which no other punishment is given, that person is liable on conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or to a fine not exceeding 10 million shillings or to both. And the penalties are listed and under Regulation 210 of the PFM County Government Regulations, Chair.
The previous section that talks about the misconduct.
The misconduct,
97.
it's section 197 for the national government entities, and then Regulation 210 is one that is specific for the county government chair. It's on the offenses of financial misconduct, and it reads as follows: a public officer employed by a county government or county government entity commits an offense of financial misconduct. If without lawful authority, the officer, there are a number of crimes that are listed there, and maybe
them. I will trust that they will take this seriously.
Yes.
Because next
regulations. It's on offenses of financial misconduct.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, as I said earlier, I think it's important for the hospital accounting officers and 199 is very key to be followed. Waivers are not just given; they must be budgeted for. We must have a policy. They must be consistent with 159, section 159, where they must be approved by the CEC Finance. Yeah. So I think we are going to give an interim.
Chair, before you give your interim, of course I know, Chair, that the work of Senate also is to guide the devolved units, and I've been listening very carefully. Chair, maybe just to indulge from you, because county governments, and I don't know if you have come across who has a policy on waiver, then we can benchmark from them, because what we've been using basically is the national guidelines. And if there is one county you know of, you would also help us, then we can benchmark from them and create legislation within the county assembly to guide us. Because I'm following very seriously, and I realize that there are some few things. We have the records, for example, this patient number something in Annex 4, the child became sick on the second day when they arrived in Kericho. It was discovered that it's raised by a single mother. Father died 2014. Her mother has a mental problem. They have a land that was bought by the uncle, and they are residing in Bungoma. So a mental person comes to Kericho with a small child. The child gets sick along the way. Then the child is from the hospital, and of course, because the mother is sick, no one can reach to anybody from Bungoma. We wavered. So we have those records. But I realize there are misses that we have not done it very well, including the approval from the CC Finance, and we really apologize for the Chair. We will be glad if this committee would really help us, even with your people, to get the best, because devolution is always a work in progress.
That we can refer you to, because most of them have been appearing with this same query.
Okay.
The PFM section 159.
Okay, Chair.
On what needs to be done.
Okay,
so maybe you can pick it from there, and then you develop your own internal policy, guided by section 159.
Okay.
Chair, I think it is good to let them just follow the law. You can also maybe find out from the big national referral hospitals like MTRH if they have a policy. Because what they are doing is very good. I mean, all of us, we always call our hospitals, can you please reduce the... So it's a good thing. So, but the problem, the law is has to be followed. So just, if you don't get anything, you develop your own.
Okay.
And so long as the auditors get some policies and approvals, they will not raise it as a query.
That is a serious record for us, Chair. We appreciate that, and we are guided. I also commit to begin taking some classes of CPS. I taught of theology, but now I'm changing my mind.
but also, Governor, Governor, there is also a county that appeared before us as a house though, not as a committee, on the issue of waivers as an impeachable offense. This is what was one of the biggest things in Kaura Mwangaza impeachment. Because under the passion that I see you also have, because she was passionate about this, or this a child, or whatever, then as a governor took the stance to what the law allows, then it became impeachable. Yes, because I'm seeing you're very passionate, and I can see you making some pronouncement that, the governor have said waive this. Then you realize
I agree with Senator Okij, but I've been record, I don't direct waivers chair, and they have a committee of their own. But I'm very kind, so that I don't come to say that you're not impeachment. I don't have to come back again.
So that's why the law tells you that the hospital is an entity, yes. They will sit as a committee, give the waivers, but before they give the waivers, the chief, the CEC finance of your cabinet must approve. Yeah, so that way it protects you. Yeah, it's not abuse.
Chair, I wanted to comment on that. Let me just comment, because it's very important what I'm going to say. To me, it's important, and I think also for the committee, and even for the governors, it's very important. Because we find the governor said that there are people who come to the hospital and they can never pay that bill, and they keep on feeding and staying in the hospital. Definitely, you must follow the law, but they must also get waiver. So long as it can be approved, and so long as it can be followed by the auditors, I don't see anything wrong with that, because we are serving people, and some of them are very poor. Thank you.
Yeah, but what we said is not that we are not stopping them from getting waivers. They will get the waivers, but then let the procedure and the law be followed.
Yes, that's what I've said, Chair.
Yeah. So, members, let's make progress.
Maybe going forward, I think the beautiful thing is that we have shared now, and as the county governor, I'm pleased that at the 14th day of the month, SHA has remitted their money, and we are having lesser cases compared to what we are going through in HIF within the facilities all the way to dispensaries. And because at that time it was weird, Chairman, I remember I came to a case where somebody has been held in the hospital. It doesn't come from Kericho, but there's been in the facility for 1 year. They started, they became couple in the hospital. There is a female patient who has been released, is hanging for 1 year, being fed in the hospital, very healthy. There is a male patient, very healthy equally, being fed in the hospital for free, government food. And ideas became around, and I thought this is very dangerous. We need to just release them and go home so that we don't continue having more problems here.
Because we end up spending more than what people order.
Okay, let's move to the query on unsupported property, plant and equipment balance, which is similar to the undisclosed intangible assets. But let's handle the one on property, plant and equipment. Auditor?
Thank you, Chair. Paragraph 8 on unsupported property, plant and equipment balance. Here, the management did not provide ownership documents for the parcel of land measuring 8 acres, which had been encroached upon. And again, the hospital has had 3 emergency and 2 utility vehicles that had not been included in the asset register, and also didn't have the logbooks. There was also no proper handover documents of the motor vehicles to the county referral hospital.
Governor, your response?
Honorable Chairman, we acknowledge the audit finding regarding the parcel of land valued in Kenya shillings 1,128 and measuring 8 acres. Management confirms that ownership documents for the land were not available during the audit due to ongoing administrative process. Currently, we have secured the ownership document as evidence in Annex 8.1. Additionally, the land in question has been encroached by informal settlers. The matter has been escalated to the county legal office for resolution, A formal valuation process will also be initiated to ascertain its fair value in line with the Accounting Standards Board guidelines and item 19.4C of the accounting policies. We acknowledge the observations that 3 emergency vehicles and 2 utility vehicles were not captured in the hospital's asset register and that logbooks were not provided. However, the transfer process will be pursued once the hospital board members are fully constituted. Currently, Kericho Rural Hospital utilizes the vehicles as evidence in the work tickets attached as Annex 8.2. Furthermore, the 1 emergency vehicle that is currently grounded has been assessed and management is exploring options for repair or appropriate disposal in accordance with the Public Procurement and Disposal Act. To address the gaps, management considered the following corrective measures. Number 1, we have conducted a comprehensive asset verification exercise that all property, plant, and equipment are accurately captured in the asset register. Engaging with the county lands and transport managers of today documents and ownership verifications, arranging for a professional valuation of all land and vehicle assets to reflect fair value required by the accounting standards, implementing a mere robust assessment management policy to improve track registration and oversight of officers. Finally, Honorable Chairman, the county is waiting for the Intergovernmental Relationship Technical Committee ITC report to further transfer of ownership documents to county management, thus allowing conclusive registration and recognition of all assets. The management maintains a register of all its assets as evidence in Excerpt Annex 8.3. And maybe, Chair, just before that I respond, I want to also indicate that this matter of the land in question is a very thorny issue. It was one of my impeachment grounds, Chair, because this land was scrapped. When I came into the hospital land, it was scrapped. When I tried to do this, it was a problem, and I was on campus, and we did something with it. But I'm happy the majority leader, Aaron Cheruyat, which we worked together on this matter, we were able to get the documentations and Wale and the Ministry of Lands did give us a title deed just a month ago, and we have the title deed as an extra here. Thank you.
Auditor, your comments on the response?
Chair, the ownership documents have not been provided for audit review, also the logbook for motor vehicles, so we consider the issue not addressed.
Yep. What do you mean they are not provided? I think they are attached. Are you implying that at the point of audit, or they were not provided at all? Because I can see they are attached.
Chair, they were not provided to us in the review of this response.
So maybe the only thing I've noticed, Governor, is that the title has been acquired, but it is in the name of the county government of Kericho, not the hospital.
Chair, maybe with the cadence then, so we will be transferring, because first of all was, it was a very tough battle, Chair.
Yes.
Because the crapper is a very rich man, and it was a serious thing, and until finally, and I thank the national government for supporting us through Senator Aaron Cheruyat. When we have got this copy to the county, with your guidance and with your permission, you give us some small time, we will transfer it to the River Hospital.
Yeah.
Because the patient first was to get the title deed.
You have done a good job, but I think next year, these auditors will still raise the same query.
Okay.
Because it's in the name of the county, not the hospital.
We commit to begin the transfer of this Senate immediately to transfer it to the hospital.
Yes. Members?
Governor, just an area of interest. I'm seeing this land is 8 acres and valued at 1.6.
Yeah.
When was the last valuation done? Is land this cheap in Kericho? I can come and visit.
But I can give you, we are expanding town, if you talk to me nicely, I can give you a plot to build there. Chair, this valuation was done so long ago during the municipal time. That is why we, as the senator has observed correctly, this is not the current price, but we will be pricing it and valuing it to the current rate. But you see, at the time of this was done by the municipality. But now with the current time, we will be able to do proper valuation of the same, because this is not really the correct valuation of this land as it is now. But this was done during the municipal time.
How did the county acquire it? The land? How did you solve the crisis between you and the tycoon?
Yes, what we did, I wrote a letter to the Ministry of Lands registering my complaint, providing also evidences that this land belongs to the county. And then, of course, I also copied my senator that we have fantastic work relations with. And I tasked him that, you see, I'm not a Nairobi person, I'm in the village. He also follows it up, and we finally got it.
You're reading some answer here. The owner of the land, the person who was claiming the land,
yes,
was there.
Yes.
And then you're also claiming it to be